Alright, guys. I'll make it look a little prettier when I touch it again. But wow, your underlying energy is very similar to Aries, which is the Ace of Wands. So this is a new beginning for a lot of you guys, a new passionate beginning. Okay, starting something new, starting something fresh. It's a lot of hype around this energy. Love it. But this is also surrounding, like I said, passion, creativity, your heart's desire, and authenticity. Right, being real. And this is action influenced by emotion. So whatever your heart is desiring, or whatever you're, whatever you've been working, whatever you want, it's all about the journey in doing it, and getting it done. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what's happening in your current state of being. Well, underneath here, you have the Hangman. So I think there was a period of time in which you guys had, there was some waiting, or you guys were maybe feeling stuck in limbo, right? But this was for the purpose of finding something or looking at something from a different angle, a different perspective. And I feel like y'all got it now, because there's a new beginning starting. There's a time period of stagnancy. Now there's some progression. Now currently though, you do feel exhausted and beat down and a little defensive, right? I feel like you guys potentially have been pushing through a situation diligently for quite some time, and it's exhausting, right? It would be. It would totally be exhausting, considering everything that you've gone through, right? And I feel like you just want things to kind of move forward and charge ahead and fight for things. But however, the thing that's keeping you right now is that something is not finished yet. Something isn't done. Something hasn't wrapped up completely. All right. I think there's a lot of defensiveness and trying to build up walls and things like that for, to protect yourself from things that you've been dealing with. So there's boundaries that were put in place to protect you and keep you from being able, to protect you and keep you up and running and going for what it is that you have passion for, or at least which you're, still working very hard to obtain here. But the Ten of Cups here is the situation. It's like you don't feel happy, you don't feel satisfied here, because you're emotionally done, right? But there's something that is needs to be completed here, emotionally completed, and I feel like it is because potentially someone walked away, or that somebody really just wasn't interested anymore. Okay, so your best path to follow is the World. Let's see how this is. Let's complete the cycle. Because the World is a very successful ending. It's a very happy ending, or at least it does provide a better, ending than most of the endings combined. Best out of all of them. And this ends karmic stuff. It's Saturn congratulating you. Saturn's gift to you when you complete a cycle. You want to complete this. Whatever you guys wanting to start right now. You're doing the in-between worlds bit, where you maybe trying to end something, and before you've ended it, you've started something new. So that could be kind of like everything's kind of piling on itself, and you're like, what the hell happened here? And it's just that there's a lot of mess going on at the same time. Ending a cycle and beginning something new. I feel like you want to have a little more fun. You want to stretch your wings out and be free. Go after things, right? But something hasn't finished itself yet. So the advice is to talk about, the thing I was thinking in my head when I saw the World card and your best path to follow. I don't know if y'all play Mortal Kombat 10 or anything like that. But I can hear him. And I can hear the narrator say, "Finish him." Fatality. It's just, I can hear that. That's what I'm thinking when I see the World. Finish him. And that's what you guys gonna have to do right now. You're gonna have to just finish it. I get that the Page of Cups, you guys have an idea of what you want, and I feel like you guys have expressed your emotions, or at least you're honestly, this is beginning of puppy love, right? Beginning of love all together, nurturing and loving on something that you feel is very precious to you. Love. For some of you guys may have either offered someone love, or this is about they offer someone else's love. But I really feel like this is you guys, feeling more alive. Because you got wands here, you got the cups. To me, that is feeling more alive. Okay? And I think this is, honestly, you've been in a very beat down state for a little bit, and I feel like you guys are just trying. You feeling desire again. And you want to go for that desire, but there's this thing here it can be fulfilled, right? I think the situation just wasn't satisfying, but perhaps there was there's the hangman situation where things stopped moving because it was like, okay, I'm not interested anymore. But there was no real progress in moving somewhere else or getting something else. Or maybe there was, but there is some sort of, some sort of karmic stuff that needs to go down, that needs to complete itself. Or there's something here that needs to complete itself. The Ten of Cups here can also mean family. Perhaps there is a situation with regards to a family, and the Knight of Swords, perhaps it's like this age difference that's coming up. And maybe there's a situation with, family for some of you guys, but I'm not getting that for a lot of you guys. I mean, this is only for very few. I don't know, something's going on with family for you guys. So, you guys are just either being, being strong for your family, or kind of having to kind of put up some walls or boundaries with family members that may be overstepping a little bit. I don't know, that's just me, but I do get this feeling that there is just this desire to go ahead and get what you want, which is in your feelings. In your hopes and fears, though, you have the King of Swords, which is someone that is honestly the mature version of the Knight of Swords. He doesn't necessarily run after whatever, or he doesn't, fight people and be very combative with individuals about whatever it is that they want, right, or what their truths are, what their beliefs are. But he's very solid and very good, he's cool with himself. He's cool with anybody else's beliefs and stuff. Don't come to him unless you're ready to argue with the mofo, right? Unless you're ready to get destroyed, because he will destroy and dismantle all arguments. He's good at doing that. But most importantly, this is being able to know what your truth is. And I feel like for you, Taurus, you want to be walking in your truth. You want to walk the talk, right? I think you've been kind of holding back from the talk, walk the talk, but it's getting, honestly, the gates are breaking. The dam is breaking, Taurus. You're tired of having to keep yourself censored. You're tired of having to keep going with the whole, I'm cool. No. You're tired of it. You want to be more real. You want to be more out there. Somebody crosses you and pisses you off, you want to let them know. And you can do that. You can definitely do that. But there's something here that needs to be completed first in order to start something new. Something here needs to be reestablished here. Maybe I'll actually pull for this. Why is the Ten of Cups coming up? I know it's like the ending of something needs to be completed. I feel like there is some sort of dissatisfaction in the relationship, or dissatisfaction in your love life in any way. But I feel like it's like saying that there's unfinished business here. Keep holding on. Don't give up. Yeah, because strength is in your outcome. Yeah, strength in your outcome is talking about just allowing that lion to purge, that passion to purge, right? Because eventually you will have that opportunity. And I feel like you should be able to do that now. You shouldn't be having to wait until X, Y, Z to happen, right? Just be that way now. You don't have to end the cycle to be who you truly are. That's my opinion. Right? And I don't think it's saying to wait till the ending happens. I feel like it's saying to, it's saying that the situation is not over, I feel like, with the world being your advice, right? There's something, or this thing blocking you, this Ten of Cups. For some of you guys, it could be that there's an emotional cycle that has ended because of some dissatisfaction, but that's like, I don't know, I feel like this cycle here, even though it's ended here, it's still somewhat relevant in keeping you from being truly yourself. Well, the world would be then at that point just be, right? Be yourself. It's a transition from one phase to the next. It's just true to it's just totally okay to be yourself. With strength coming up, it's totally okay to be yourself. Let's see what else can you tell us about the Ten of Cups? What else can you tell us about the Ten of Cups? What else can you tell us about the Ten of Cups? Death. Releasing something to gain space for the new. Oof. Yep, that's what that means. It's transitioning. There's a transition. Okay, so completing something really for this is definitely saying let go of what the past was showing. It's time to release what this period was. Just finish it, right? Let it go. And I'm not saying this is like, this doesn't mean anything, but I feel like there was some walls you build up to protect yourself during the cycle. Perhaps it wasn't the easiest for you. And I think that when I mean, really when they keep saying finish it or whatever, and they're saying you have to complete the cycle, it really just means it's time to release the cycle. Release what you've been through with it. Yes, you've walked away and it wasn't satisfying, and it was probably, honestly, very difficult to kind of go through because this is emotional based. But I don't think you're actually here anymore. I don't think you're actually in this cycle anymore. That's why you can be the strength card. You can let that passion out. You can be that fire. Right? With reason. Right? Don't hurt anybody. But you guys have this in you. Just let it purge. It'd be so strange to say, oh no, hold back. Don't be you for like X amount of days or weeks, months. And it's like, that'd be weird. It'd be totally against what I believe. It'd be like, what do you mean don't be yourself? If you are who you are now within the cycle, then you definitely just go ahead and be whatever you want. You don't wait till the ending of the cycle. So that's why I had to pull. And that's what it came out with that. Okay. Yeah. That's why it came up, y'all. If you are who you are, let it out. Because you don't want it to bubble over and, create a catastrophe. Just be who you are. And I feel like the hopes and fears is not necessarily you guys wanting to be cold and heartless. Of course, you don't want to be someone that's just, hard to be around. I just think you want to be more. You want to be, you want to be true to you. You want to say what you want to say. You want to be who you feel you want to be. You want to be who you truly are. Let your friends help you is your card for the week. And it says, ask for help and accept support from others. So maybe there's some people around you that can provide you with advice. Right now, the King of Swords is an advisor anyway. He's really good at helping individuals. He's very good at making, finding solutions or being a consultant for a different perspective and ideas. He's also considered a lawyer as well. He's good at arguing. So, not alone with this. So that's why I was, that's also why I was kind of getting the family vibe too. You may have friends around you or family that are willing to help you as well. But release whatever pride you have regarding your family. It's probably not going to help. Okay? Like, if they can help you, let them. You don't have to do it solo. You don't have to do it by yourself. Nine of Wands is exhausted energy, and he's fighting that war by himself. If he had help, I'm sure he would take. I'm sure it would be very useful for him. But don't let your pride keep you from being able to receive help, Taurus. Okay, don't let that happen. Let's go ahead and take a look at your whispers of love, and it says the union of hearts. This is pretty much similar to the lovers here. Very similar to lovers, and it says there's a connection of love that defines explanation. That's why you guys are feeling in love. I feel like y'all know who this person is already, and you have this drawing, like you feel this draw to this individual. And I feel like you may have had this wall up for a while, and it's about being authentic to you. That's kind of what you guys want to be. You want to just go for it, but then it's the same time you just completed a cycle that was a little bit scary and a little bit very unsatisfying. But this is different. This is a new beginning. This is a new fire. This is a new Taurus that we're talking to. I'm talking to. Let that fire come out. You feel passionate for this person? Let it happen. Because this is done. The finishing part is just releasing it now.